Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I have been told there is a new patch note, and I'm rather excited about it because it is my birthday, September 7th. I don't know whenever this video goes up, so if it's September 7th by then, happy birthday to me, even though I just celebrated it. But we got new patch notes that are refusing to load, and from what I've heard, that they actually tackled the support problem somewhat. I've not seen them yet, and I don't think I'm going to see them anyway because for some strange reason, well, there they are. They just loaded. So we got the new game mode Hero Mastery. This is all exciting. This is all nice. Now, before we get down here and we start talking about the problem with support and things like that, there's a lot of misconception in my previous video where they were like, Mr. Streamer, Mr. YouTuber, you're just a filthy DPS player, blah blah blah, all this type of stuff. My guy, I have 500 hours on support, and I love support as a role, but I can understand and be unbiased when the role is a little bit silly, and even the developers understood it. Anyways, so the main problem with support is that they can do a bit too much of everything, and to summarize my point in the video was that I want support to lose power somewhere. It's why I said characters like Mercy, Lucio, and Zen are good because they have a drop-off. Zenyatta doesn't have mobility. Lucio is like a middle ground between, like, he can do a little bit of everything, but he's a jack of all trades, master of none, right? Your skill expression on him is the movement, and that movement decides how good you can be, and your timing with the amp, right? Mercy is literally defined by her movement too. She's also like Lucio, right? So these characters are a lot more healthier than the rest of them because these guys can all kind of do everything, right? Which then makes characters like Lucio, Mercy, Zen obsolete because they can do high healing, high damage, invulnerability, survivability, dual ability, just a bit of everything, right? Although Ana is a slight outlier, but I'm not going to go too much in depth in that. We talked about it in that video. We want to see the patch notes. So the patch notes, to start us off, we got Tank, we got Junker Queen. Let me sip my coffee real quick. Why did they buff Junker Queen's Jagged Blade? And this is exactly what I was worried about. This is an unnecessary change, right? And they're like, oh, it's supposed to reward the fact that you threw the blade. Yeah, but nobody felt like Jagged Blade, this is the knife that she throws, was in a problematic state. This is power creep. They're going down the power creep route. They're buffing damage numbers for no reason. Oh my god, I really hope this is not like all they had to do was deal with the support role, and from what I understand, there are some support changes in here. Oh my goodness. Okay, next up, Orisa. Yes, finally. Did she actually get nerfed? So, I don't even care about the developer comments because they don't play their game, so I'm not going to bother reading that. Fortify. Cooldown begins when the ability is activated instead of when it ends. What? Cooldown increased from 12 to 16. Over health gone from 125 to 100. Wait, she got a slap on the wrist. This doesn't change anything. What? Her cooldown beginning when the ability activates instead of when it ends, it just negates this cooldown increase because now the cooldown will start sooner. So look, initially it was 12, right? So if I go in the training range, hold on, we're just gonna test this real quick. The audio is muted, so just a heads up. Like, if you guys don't hear anything, it's fine. We don't need to hear anything but my lovely voice for now. So if we go over here for just a second, I'm just gonna like very quickly pick Orisa and then get out, right? Like, the cooldown was 12 seconds, right? So now if we fortify, it's still 12 seconds. At the bottom right, you can see it's still 12 seconds. It didn't change anything. Now you get punished for canceling fortify early. Like look, if you fortify and then you cancel, right? It's 16 seconds. But this, like, nobody does this on Orisa. Like, whenever you turn a corner to go into the choke or to go contest point or whatever, you can still cycle your abilities really well. Like, oh, I'm gonna turn this corner. I'm going to use my E to go in. Okay, I'm gonna like apply some damage. My support's walked in with me. I'm gonna shift. Okay, I'm gonna apply a lot of pressure, and then boom, fortify goes off, and my E is back up. And my support cooldowns keep me up for my next rotation, and you can still balance out the rotation. This is one hypothetical. Orisa didn't get nerfed. I'm sorry, Orisa is still really strong. Okay, they removed 25 HP. That doesn't matter. She still has so much armor and things like. What was the point of this change? This is the most slap on the wrist change I've ever seen. Excuse me, I was drinking my coffee for a second. We got Zarya up next, and my goodness. Projected barrier. Also, this is the barrier she gives to her allies. Health increase from 200. 225. Cooldown from 10 to size 15. Oh my god, oh my god, we're in season 1 meta. Oh my god, we're back in the season. Oh my god, the Reapers are gonna come out. Oh, Zarya Reaper is going to be so good. Zarya was already good. She didn't need this buff. She was already in a solid spot because of Orisa. Why don't the developers understand that sometimes when one character takes over the flavor of the game, it allows for other characters to kind of start popping up. Zarya didn't need this. Dude, Reaper has 250 HP. Now he's going to have a 225 bubble on him. He's legitimately a tank in your backline. This is what the season 1 meta was. It was Reaper Zarya. What? And the bubble size has been increased, so like there are more chances he gets hit and Zarya gets charged up and she walks in with her own bubble. This is a completely unnecessary change. This is the problem, right? With these sustained based abilities, this getting an HP increase makes this feeling of like high healing plus all this put together is still really bad. Like this 225, removing 25 from here, like they need to just double down on these numbers. 50 should be what they remove, because they removed 50 or 75 armor from Reinhardt to get him out of the meta, and it was horrible for Ryan. Ryan is horrible because of it. This 25 doesn't really do anything, because pair them with supports, because tanks are the ones that benefit from supports the most, right, with their high healing numbers. And this is insane, and this turns Reaper into a mini tank. Oh, and that's right. Wait, there's a damage roll change. I was having my coffee. Excuse me. I just woke up. It's 10 a.m. Guys, give me a second. Ash got a Viper buff. Reload time decreased from 0.25 to 0.2. I mean, this keeps our damage consistent and high. Oh my god, we are in damage creep. We're seeing health pools increase. This doesn't change anything. This does not matter. This does not solve the problem. Orisa's problem is she can cycle her cooldowns really well. And I just showcased that, right? And that's what makes her immortal. Changing the overhealth bonus doesn't mean anything. She's still either, like, it's either she blows up to Bastion or she runs over every brawl tank that isn't Zarya. We're still in Zarya versus Orisa meta. That's so weird, man. You don't even solve the problem. Whatever. Bastion, oh, so hopefully he got nerfed, right? Tactical grenade impact damage decreased from 30 to 15. That's reasonable. No longer deals crit hits. What about all the other changes? He got like 9 buffs. Oh my god, they didn't. Oh my god, they didn't solve the problem. Yes, because playing Bastion for 2 months long is really fun gameplay. So essentially, Bastion didn't get nerfed. Bastion got a slap on the wrist as well. His power is actually in the turned form. And because we know like Zar and Orisa are going to be around for a while, Bastion's going to be around for a while because he's the only body that can effectively duel Orisa and Zarya. And Zarya Bastion can be really strong now too. Bastion can be a walking tank. We are literally in GOATS 3.0. They doubled down on GOATS 3.0. That's so depressing. There's no dive heroes getting buffed. There's no brawl heroes like coming in and Orisa and Zarya getting kind of faded away. We're in this weird poke meta and I really don't like it. Please tell me Mei got nerfed. Please tell me Mei got nerfed. Please tell me Mei got nerfed. Damage increase! They buffed Mei! They have been buffing all the unfun characters. Bastion, Torbjorn, Symmetra, Mei. They're doubling down on buffing this game for bad people. What is their comment? Mei is still underperforming? We're increasing the effect. When will this development team understand that Mei is underperforming because the game is not about brawl? Mei is a brawl damage dealing tank hybrid character. She's good with Reinhardt. She's good with Dramata. Those characters are not popular because there's a certain tank that deletes them from the game. I wonder who that is. And this does not solve the problem. Oh my god, this just makes Mei more oppressive. Duration before slow falls off. Increase from 0.5 to 0.5. So she gets the slow more, which is fun to play for tanks, obviously. Deep chill. Bonus damage can now be triggered with her melee. I think my silence says everything, making these easier characters easier to play. May's skill expression is in her wall. And they buff her because they're like, yeah, she's underperforming. Guys, of course she's going to underperform. When you play Mei into Zarya and Orisa, Zarya negates your slows and Orisa negates your slows. Because these two are the most prominent tanks right now, Mei is going to be unpopular. By this logic, we should be buffing dive characters. We should be buffing brawl characters. I mean, granted, they buffed Mei, but like my idea is like, you know, the tanks and things like that. But and things like that. Like, this is ridiculous. We're in damage creep. Even these Ash changes is a little damage creep. It's not like overly over the top, but it will make her more consistent. This doesn't matter. Like, this is a slap on the wrist. It doesn't matter. Your nades barely landed with Bastion anyway, and it doesn't really change anything. It's like, oh great, you'll be slightly less effective. It doesn't matter because you're still getting the value out of his turret form and staying alive in turret form. Especially now when Zarya puts a bubble on you when you're on Bastion. Good luck bursting the Bastion down. That's so ridiculous. This is horrible. All these changes for tank and DPS are horrible so far. I hope the support changes are fine. Support passive duration until support's passive activates increase from 1.5 to 2. This is actually a really good change. This is a good way to approach the support problem. Is supports like... So, if you guys don't know, Baptiste... Oh, wow. Okay, they nerfed Bap. 1 second. I don't want to read it just yet. So, one of the problems with support right now is that they can do a little bit of everything. And they're really good at taking care of themselves, which means the window to punishing them is really bad. But I want to bring up one argument because I know there's a certain support that will suffer from this the most. We need to buff Mercy's individual survivability. I think it's time we give Mercy back her movement and not punish her for using Guardian Angel text or things like that, because this is Mercy's passive that was given to everybody and it doesn't stack with Mercy's passive. So Mercy will take longer to heal herself, and her new like passive, this one where she like heals off of the person that she's healing, it's not that good. So I'm calling it now. Next season, with the big patch notes, Mercy will be one of the characters that gets 100% buffed. If they don't buff Mercy, they're delusional. Who am I kidding, man? This is the same balance team that actually thought that Mei needs to be buffed, despite not understanding why Mei is not in the meta. It's almost like Zarya and Orisa have something to do with it, or why she's underperforming. Like, you don't do something like this. Now, what this means, if Zarya and Orisa stick around, when they get properly nerfed in the bigger patch notes for October, that means Mei is going to be so overpowered, and again playing tank is a nightmare, and playing DPS is boring because who wants to hold left click and walk around? Okay, they just don't understand what's good and bad for the game. Even support players don't like getting sniped by Mei or getting slowed by them. Nobody enjoys Mei. Like, this is a horrible change in my opinion. She's legit back to full power now, I think. Like her Overwatch 1 state with a little bit more like, you know, power in her kit with the deep chill melee. Baptiste got a nerf. So because I glanced over the decrease. So instant healing went down from 50 to 40, and healing over time decreased from 50 over 5 seconds to 40 over 4. Okay, so overall, when Baptiste will hit the shift, he's going to do 80 healing instead of 100 combined healing, right? So they said that they're reducing its total healing slightly, and I don't think, like, while yes, this is a nice nerf and it will help with some breakpoints, Babs's right click does a lot of healing anyway. And that's usually going to make up for it. Like, this is for tank-based interactions, right? It was the same reason why they gave Hanzo that weird nerf where he cannot one-shot 250 HP heroes. While it's nice against some 250 HP heroes, the main reason for that was for the breakpoint interactions with tanks, so tanks could survive more, right? But here's the problem, right? It's not damage dealers that are doing a lot of damage to tank. It is unironically supports. But again, I already spoke about that. If this is the way that they want to approach it, like kind of reduce healing and reduce support survivability, but let them have power in their damage, I'm okay with that. As long as there's a weakness in the support role that, okay, they can do this, but this is their weakness. So supports are a little bit more approachable now. They're not immortal that they can just peek out for 1 second and go back to full HP and then do whatever they want, right? This is a step in the right direction. Let's look at the rest. So surely there's like more changes to support, right? Okay, we got Kitty. That's it? There's nothing more. You're joking. Kiriko Protection Suzu goes through enemy heroes. Why? Protection Suzu no longer knocks back enemies. Projectile doesn't need to impact them. This quality of life prevents it so that when you throw it into groups... So wait. This is a buff to Suzu. Suzu got buffed again. It got a net buff last patch where it heals even more when you reduce negative effects. When it heals over negative effects, so it heals more now. And now it can pass through enemy targets, so you never mess up a Suzu. What is this patch note? My only takeaway is that from an overall gameplay perspective, if I look at the hero gallery, right, the characters that suffer from the support. Here's the thing: while the support passive change is nice, it hurts the characters that didn't need to be hurt. It hurts Mercy and Zenyatta the most, right? Especially Mercy. Like Mercy just got the biggest slap in the face for no reason because of these heroes' problems, right? Because of the Moira, Lifeweaver, Keiko, Iliari, Brigida, Bap, and Ana, Mercy just took the biggest slap for no reason, despite like not even being relevant in the meta, right? And we need to do something about Mercy. Like this is really bad for Mercy. It's actually going to make her feel really awkward to play now. Like you have to be really good with her movement now, and bouncing between your teammates. Otherwise, you're screwed. You're almost a free kill now. So they need to look at Mercy, and I'm fairly certain like the Mercy content creators will talk about this too. There is no way that Mercy doesn't get changed in the next patch. Like this is a massive slap to to her face, because these characters can take care of themselves really well. Moira's self-healing, Kiriko's Shuzo on herself, Lifeweaver's dash, Iliari's pylon, Brigida's inspire, Baptista's self-regen being like 80 healing per second, Ana's nade. Like it doesn't impact these guys that much. It does make them more punishable if their cooldowns are down, but it impacts Zen and Mercy a lot, and Zen and Mercy are not even that relevant right now. The problem we're having is with these main healers, these like 7 in particular, their overall healing and then being able to do everything else is too strong. Making them a little bit more vulnerable is nice, but we should have considered how it would impact some other supports that are not necessarily in a problematic state. Because in my opinion, Mercy, Lucy, and Zen are not in a problematic state, right? Ana is a little bit in the middle because she just needs one ability slightly changed up and she'll be fine. And then we can look at AoE healing as a whole, right? But at the moment, this patch is really weird because even ignoring the support problem, Mei getting Giga buffed, I want to test something. Like how easy it is for Mei to confirm kills now with the melee combo. Because we just saw damage creep happen. We saw Ashe reloading even faster. Like if I just empty a magazine here, like this will make oh shit, yeah, wow, look at the speed of that. I don't know if it's the emptiness. Like oh god, look at that speed. Holy crap, yeah, that's damage creep right there. Now Ashe can empty a full clip, and in the blink of an eye, in 1 second, she'll get her whole magazine back. That's nuts. But you have to empty the thing, but still it doesn't matter. That's crazy. And Mei, like we are seeing damage creep. This is not the direction that I wanted. Where's Mei? Yeah, this is not that. Like this is we also saw Junker Queen get a damage buff. Like this is exactly what I meant. Oh my god, look at that melee damage. Oh my god, look at that melee damage. Look. What? It took out 2.5 bars. It took out 2.5 bars. If you're just like, if you hold the freeze for a second longer. What is this? Bro, Mei's gonna walk up to every Zenyatta player casually and just destroy them and delete them from the game. What is this? What? How is this fair? Look, guys, this is what I was talking about, right? Pick your poison. Do you want easy heroes like this to control the game? Or would you rather characters like Genji and Tracer that actually need skill? Even Sojourn and Hanzo. Okay, like Hanzo, the random arrows will always be a thing, guys. It's an outlier, right? Like, do we want characters like Echo, Genji, Tracer, to a certain extent Pharah, Ashe to be the viable picks where you need to have good aim, you need to have good positioning, you need to be able to land your shots to make follows up and things like that? Or do you want the Meis, the Torbjorns, the Symmetras of the game where they legitimately like they just walk up to you, they do the most bare minimum interaction and then they delete you from the game, right? Even Torbjorn's Giga buff from last season, guys, what is this gameplay? Look how fast this damage is. Look at this. We are in damage creep. Damage creep has officially started because they refuse to address supports entirely. This is the path that they chose. Damage creep is officially real, and oh my god, Mei is. I actually think while the Zarya problem is a thing, Mei Reaper is going to be a meta, and Mei is unironically, I think, the best DPS now. She has really good poke. She has a really good way to control tank and this wall and just why? This is nuts. This is nuts. By the way, this is the best Mei skin in the game. I don't want to hear it. This is an amazing skin. We are officially we're in damage creep. It's happening. They're doubling down. They gave support a little slap on the wrist. They should buff Mercy and they should again the big patch notes in October will decide the fate of this game. And I think we're in, I don't even think we need to wait until then. I think we're in damage creep. I think slowly over time, Cassidy will get his range back. Soldier will be fine as is. Genji might get some of his damage back. Echo might see a buff to her ultimate. Hanzo might get his arrows damage increase. Like, we are in damage creep. We are seeing it. We saw the way that they buffed Sim, Ashe. Like, Sim and Ashe were more quality of life to make them more consistent. Torbjorn and Bastion were more towards actual raw damage numbers. Mei was actual raw damage numbers. Even Junker Queen's right click is a raw damage. Look at this. Junker Queen can one-shot squishies. She can actually one-shot squishies now. What? This is the Roadhog combo? And all of this is happening because they refuse to address the healing problem in the game. See, this is why, like, you have to pick your poison, right? It's either these two roles get Giga buffed into relevancy, or this role has to lose some power. And I was saying I don't agree with what's it called? I don't agree with damage creep. I don't want damage creep because it's not fun when everything can blow you up in a second. Like, imagine, like, a Mei just walks up to you, right? This is a result of them refusing to address the support problem or refusing to address the meta the way that they should, right? Because they don't understand that the reason Mei is not being played is because we're in a poke meta right now, right? So she's a brawl character because she kind of wants to walk up with Ram and Ryan and hold left click, right? Now, like, in your low elo lobbies, in your metal rank lobbies, you're just gonna, like, sneak up to somebody, you're gonna freeze them, and then you're just gonna one-shot punch them, man. This is the real one-punch man, one-punch woman. Mei is here to ruin your game. And look at how much damage she does now, right? Imagine this being paired with a Reinhardt and a Ram walking into you. My goodness. We have to pick our poison. And in my opinion, high skill heroes should be the ones that you should strive towards. And these cheesy characters that just, like, I walk up to you, I remove your ability to play the game, and then I can just delete you from the game. Like this is crazy. And then I can heal myself, I can stay alive, and I can control space. How is this fun gameplay? Like, the tank is going to be so miserable. Imagine your poor tank turns a corner. Yeah, your tank turns a corner and Mei is like, yeah, you can't run away. And then all of you just bombard him. And then you can even, like, block him off with ice block. And tank, I feel so bad for tank players. Guys, we're going to end this video with a shout out to my tank players out there. If you are playing tank, may the Lord help you, because Blizzard doesn't care anymore. Blizzard 100% doesn't care about the tank role. They are going down the Giga buffing DPS route. One by one, every DPS is going to be Giga buffed. We started nerfing DPS to make them more healthy, which I agreed with, even though I think some of the more high skill DPS heroes need a bit help. But this like route that they've started, that they Giga buff Torb, the quality of life Symmetra to get healing, so she can stay alive longer. They Giga buffed Soldier for a bit and took away a little bit of his power. He's still actually decent. It's just in the current meta because of Orisa, he's kind of bad, but I think he'll be fine going forward. Like this style of game that they're going down, we are seeing a damage creep now. And it was all because of a healing creep, because characters are unable to kill things. That is why we are seeing this. If you want to disagree with me, I would welcome it. I welcome the argument, but then I ask you this, right? To anybody that disagrees that, yeah, healing is not a problem, right? I ask you this: why are we seeing a damage creep? Why are we seeing a damage creep? We have seen Torbjorn damage go up, Soldier damage go up. Sojourn is back to her season 1 state. Zarya is almost back to her season 1 state. Jungle Queen got a damage increase, right? Torbjorn got an overall damage increase. Bastion got a overall damage increase and sustainability increase. Mei just got a damage increase. Do you really not think we're going to go back on the other characters too? It's just a matter of time. My point will be proven in October. I proved my point in yesterday's video, and they proved me right. And now they're doubling down on damage creep. They're like, yeah, okay, well, we don't want to change the high healing in the game and make it a little bit healthier. We just want to sit down and make it so that nothing dies. And because nothing is dying, well, now we have to put more power into DPS. Therefore, all the progress that we did make from the beginning of the game, we're undoing it. We are back in a weird Season 1 meta, where I personally think Orisa and Bastion will still be really strong. Torbjorn is also going to be really strong. But now, Zarya was already good, right? But now Zarya has some friends to play with her. Now, Reaper and Mei are going to enter the game. And Reaper might be iffy because, like, Reaper's actually kind of bad at bursting down tanks and their survivability and the healing of the game. But for sure, Mei, Bastion, Zarya, Reaper. This little flexible comp is going to be a thing. And I don't think it's good for the game. Because, dude, Bastion coming into you with 225 bubble, bursting you down, what are you going to do about it? Oh, you want to use crowd control based abilities on him? Yeah, well, that doesn't matter because he has a bubble on him now. We did not solve the problem. We made the problem worse on tank and damage. We gave supports a little slap on the wrist. We didn't change the meta. We didn't push the game in a more healthier state. We doubled down on damage creep. And that is not the solution. I'm not even talking about supports anymore. Doing damage creep is not the solution. What do you guys think? Is this the right direction going forward? Is this wrong? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. If you want to support the channel, liking, subscribing really helps with the algorithm, and I really appreciate it. Please, it's free to do. It helps a lot. Okay, thank you. See you in the next one.